Hey guys, Fizz here, and I was playing my good pal Emilio, or as most of you would probably know him, Delta Elite here on YouTube. And we were just ruining these kids' day. Emilio and I, we were pub stomping it up on Ground War, and I was trying to finish up a challenge. He was trying to prestige. He's actually almost Grandmaster Prestige, and it's freaking crazy. But mind you, me and Delta, we're pretty darn good at Call of Duty. Okay, this gameplay that you're watching right now can verify my statement. We were using callouts and telling each other enemy locations and communicating. Truly strategizing and slaying like freaking crazy. At one point in this clip, a little later on, not right now, but some point in this clip, I get a 7-piece multi-kill. And I mean, that's awesome, but we also have like system hacks and paladins, warbirds, and everything up pretty much start to finish, the whole gameplay start to finish. Yet we still lost. We lost. And it kind of got me thinking about teamwork, and especially in Call of Duty, and why no one seems to consider this game, that no one seems to consider this game a very team-oriented game, even though so much of your team's success really lies in your effectiveness as a team. I can be playing solo team deathmatch, slaying all day, putting up 99 kills a game even, but if none of my team is really doing their part, and if the other team reaches 100 first, it doesn't matter how good I was doing, we still lose. My win-loss ratio. Alright, my win-loss ratio when playing solo is usually about 1, meaning I win about half the time and I lose the other half. However, when I play with my clanmates, it's quite rare that we lose a match. I mean, that's because we communicate. I mean, as well as that most of all the members of Sporadic Gaming are quite good at the game. We have a lot of time under our belt. But we are also good as a team. We're not just good alone. We have that ability to communicate, and that ability wins us matches. Even against players who may individually be a lot better than us, we can still kick some butt. So teamwork is rather important in Call of Duty. But why would some think that it isn't? Well, I think in part due to Call of Duty's time to kill, map size, lack of varied classes that aid one another, and just the general community attitude. People get this idea that you don't need teamwork to succeed. Call of Duty has a fast time to kill, right? So if you're grouping up with another person, you might both get killed before either of you have a really any chance to react, and that is a concern. I'm most likely gonna use Battlefield for comparison a lot in this video, so I apologize in advance. But in Battlefield, the time to kill is a lot slower. So if you rush into a room with 4 people in it, the odds of you killing all or even most of them is remarkably smaller than it would be in Call of Duty. Map size is a factor too here. Most of the Call of Duty maps are pretty small. I mean, it is an arcadey shooter after all, and big maps aren't entirely necessary. But what that also means is that you're going to be in gunfights more often than not, and not have that time to plan or even maneuver tactically. You don't have that room. The map is so small, and people can see you from so many different locations. In Battlefield, again, comparing to Battlefield, but in Battlefield we have a lot larger maps, albeit we do also have more players, so that is also a factor, but we have really big maps, and the larger maps make it so you're not always in a gunfight, and you have that room to maneuver tactically, as well as the class and squad systems, which give you a different role on the battlefield, so you can kind of aid your team in different ways. Be it spawn beacons, first aid is the medic, ammo is the support class, or even just a large rocket for taking out vehicles or repairing vehicles as the engineer or a mechanic in Battlefield Hardline. The classes themselves are meant to be used in tandem with each other to get the most benefit, and the squad system. The squad system allows friends to party up and spawn on each other and receive other bonuses for working well as a team. Call of Duty doesn't have this system, and in fact, Call of Duty has no real inherent teamwork mechanics built in. It's really up to the players themselves to spot enemies, or it's up to the players themselves to decide which flag to take, or up to the players to decide which route is best to take, or and so on, so on and so forth. But Battlefield has these teamwork mechanics laid out for you, built into the game mechanics themselves. Games like Call of Duty or Counter-Strike, they require you to know how to communicate, not just require you press Q or right bumper or R1 on PlayStation. And Call of Duty, Call of Duty does have a large community of narcissists. These players who just want to kill or boost their stats, level up, call it a day, really. And people view these select group of players as the majority. However, that's not, that's given Call of Duty some sort of an anti-teamwork reputation. But as you can see in this gameplay, I mean, we were playing good, but we lost because we lost this game because of a true lack of teamwork. We were too focused on ourselves and not really working as a team with the other people. It was just me and Delta calling out locations for each other so we can get some kills, taking the bases when we needed score streaks and that kind of stuff, But it really is interesting when you actually stop and think about it. Optic and Envy and all these other professional Call of Duty clans who make hundreds of thousands of dollars on YouTube and doing those big tournaments, and everyone knows. I mean, if I say Optic Scumpy, odds are if you're familiar with anything Call of Duty related, you probably know who that is. But these big clans, these big YouTubers, these popular, famous Call of Duty players, right? They're not only good because they can shoot straight. I mean, don't get me wrong, they can shoot quite well, robotic even at times. But they all know how to work together, and that's really, working together is really what's getting them those wins. I would like to see Call of Duty maybe take a more teamwork friendly approach in the future, however. I mean, Battlefield. Black Ops 3 is coming out this year, and I'm sure it's probably going to be a little bit more similar to how Call of Duty's been in the past. But hopefully in the future, one of these developers makes that push for teamwork, more teamworky gameplay. Because I actually do like that. I mean, I like that you can play by yourself and have a good time. It's a very accessible game. But those Battlefield mechanics that I mentioned earlier were in not any way a detriment to the game. And trust me, there are the solo players in Battlefield and Counter-Strike who just play for themselves. But that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And tell me down below if you use teamwork in Call of Duty, or if you play this game solo more often than not. And I'll see you in the next one. Stay classy, guys.